Hey everyone, and welcome to Kindakraftykenzie. Today I have some farmhouse bathroom DIYs for you, so let's go. So first off, we're going to take these house style shadow boxes that you can get from the Dollar Tree. They do come in three different sizes, shapes, styles, whatever you want to call it, as you can see here. So I just got one of each, that way I could have some nice contrast. And then if you do this very carefully and gentle, you can pry off that backing from the frame, which I found was way easier when I was trying to match up my scrapbook paper on top of them. So as you can see, I just took some of this really pretty scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. You can usually always get this for 4 pieces for $1, so worth it. And then I just took my glue stick from Dollar Tree, and as you can see, just traced out the backing piece of a little house and then just glued them all down. So as you can see, we are taking a little break from Valentine's Day DIYs today, but don't worry, I still do have a couple more Valentine's Day DIYs to come very, very soon. Then I took the frames, I guess we could call them, of the houses, and I took my plaster chalk paint by Waverly, and what I wanted to do here was kind of just give it like a nice whitewashed look. I definitely did not want full coverage over this really pretty wood, and I didn't want to go over it with anything. I just literally wanted to give it that really nice whitewash farmhouse look. So that's what I did here. It did take a hot minute because I did the entire piece, even the insides, as you can see, because you are going to be able to see the entire shadow box, I guess you could call it, the entire frame, and I wanted everything to look very complete. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Just tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. These stickers come from the Dollar Tree, and I have found that it is really hit and miss on what you can find at your Dollar Tree. Some people are really lucky and have like really big Dollar Trees or multiple ones in their area. Mine are quite small, and there's only 3 of them, like in a 45-minute radius from my home. So I don't know. I have good luck sometimes and sometimes I don't. I'm very happy with what I can find though. I can't complain. But if I do find something that I really like and have had trouble finding it, I definitely grab more than one. So I did grab 2 sets of these stickers when I found them a couple weeks ago, but right now I'm only going to use one, as you can see, because we are actually redoing our guest slash my daughter's bathroom. So I was really excited to finally be able to do some regular farmhouse decor instead of just Valentine and other seasonal ones. But anyways, as you can see, I just went ahead and laid those stickers down on top of the little houses, and then I did go over top of them with Mod Podge. They did stick straight to the paper, so I did not need to put it in between, but because this is in a bathroom and there will be steam, I thought that some Mod Podge would not only help it stick, but then protect that paper surface. They are going to be up on a shelf when the shelves are completely done, but I just thought that Mod Podge would help protect that paper and of course then those stickers. So fingers crossed, hopefully they make it. And I should let it be. So after I let these sit and dry for a few hours and everything was good to go, I just went ahead and reattached the little frames onto the back pieces, which is some hot glue. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, so simple.
Doesn't even make sense why I think about you. It was only one night, only that time, and it's not my style to be caught up in the middle like this.
So I thought that these were really super cute all on their own, but you know me, I really felt that they needed a bow. So then I took some of this gray and white gingham check ribbon from Amazon. I'm pretty sure this is one from Amazon, yes. And then I just tied these little shoelace bows and attached one of them to the peak of all the little houses. So now these are all done, and you guys will have to let me know what you think in the description box below. But you know me, I love to add a bow. But let me know what you think down below. If you are new to my channel today, I just wanted to take a second and introduce myself. Hello and welcome. My name is Mackenzie, aka Kenzie, and I am so glad that you are here today. If you love everything to do with DIY and crafting, upcycling, turning trash to treasure, and some shopping hauls, then you are in the right place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on. You can also find me over on Instagram and on Facebook. All the links are in the description boxes and in my bio. So next we're going to take this butter dish and these salt and pepper shakers, all from the Dollar Tree. I had to use 2 packs of salt and pepper shakers because I wanted 3, and you're just going to take the lids off and get rid of them or keep them for another DIY if you want to. I kept them. I keep everything. But anyways, all I did here was then just take some of my truffle chalk paint, and I gave the butter dish a good coat of it. I didn't know how well it was going to stick to it because it is plastic, but it actually went on no problemo. Absolutely love it. That's why I love chalk paint, because you can paint anything with it. But anyways, I did go ahead and give it 2 coats, that way it was nice and covered. And what is really interesting is after it was all done, when you touch it, it feels like it's not glass, but like porcelain, you know what I mean, like a resin. It's really interesting. You wouldn't know that that's just a plastic dollar butter dish. Insane. So to paint the salt and pepper shakers, I just used the Plaster by Waverly. I definitely did not want these like a stark white, and I absolutely love the plaster for that look. I only did a 1 coat on this. I went back in a couple spots where maybe it was a little streaky and touched it up a little bit, but for the most part I only did a 1 coat on all of them because I definitely wanted them to look very distressed. I also went in and obviously I painted this side of like the butter dish and then the inside of like the lid, because obviously that is actually the part that you're going to see the most. So I made sure that the entire dish was completely nice and covered. Then after that dried and everything, and I let that dry pretty naturally. Usually I use the heat gun a lot, but I didn't on this. One, because it was plastic and I just didn't really know what the heat gun would do to it, if it would warp it. And two, sometimes chalk paint will crack on certain surfaces when you use a heat gun, and I definitely did not want it to do that. But then I just took some of that plaster that was like in my brush from painting the glass jars, and I went over it, as you can see, and just gave it a little bit of distressing. I went a little heavier around the edges and then a little bit lighter like on the rest of it. I did decide to attach like the lid of the butter dish like down to the base of it because I wanted everything to stay put together nicely. I didn't want anything to, like, if you pick it up and you didn't realize it wasn't all put together, you would drop something. So I did attach that with hot glue. And then I went in with some sandpaper and of course distressed those salt and pepper shakers. I love to do this when you paint chalk paint on top of glass because it gives it that just natural distress. I think it looks gorgeous. You don't have to go in with any paint. I love doing that. So I just went ahead and did that to all three of those. Then I just played with the placement. I mean, obviously they're identical and they look the same, but I didn't know if I wanted one to kind of stick up a little bit higher in the middle, and ultimately I decided I did. So I just attached one of those little tiny blocks that you can get from the Dollar Tree. They come in like a pack of like 30 couple, just those little cubes. They're really handy to have on hand for like things like this. And I just put one down in there, glued it in, as you can see, and then glued the salt and pepper shaker on top of it. And then I did go ahead and glue the two remaining jars down on either side of that middle one, again just so if you went to pick it up it didn't like come completely apart. I don't know, I just like to cover all my bases. It's going in a bathroom with 3 children. Trying to keep it protected even knowing it's just cheap dollar store stuff, whatever. So then I just took some of these wildflower picks and whatever kind of flowers these are picks. I don't know, they're pink and pretty, works for me. And I just played with the arrangement a little bit and went back and forth until I finally found what I liked, and then just put some in, took some away. You know how it is. Just, you know, I don't know. I love messing with floral, but it can be like OCD can kick in and it's just ew. But anyways, I got those all nice and placed in there and I really love them. Then I just took some of this gray and white gingham style ribbon, tied a simple little shoelace bow, and just attached it there on the middle vase, I guess we could call it now. It's no longer a salt and pepper shaker. That's definitely like the focal point of like the little arrangement because it has white flowers, it's sticking up, and now it has the bow. Anyways, I think this turned out really cute, and it is so simple, and ultimately it was like $3, so love it. Guys, on this video, I absolutely did this on purpose. I saved the best for last. So you are going to take this little floral bucket style thingy bob here, this like metal galvanized little, I don't know, it's a planner, I guess. But I just took this and gave it a really decent coat of the plaster. But again, when you paint on like metal with chalk paint, the same as like a plastic butter dish, it does get like streaky, but I really liked it on this. So instead of like going for the full coverage like I did on the butter dish, it was okay if some of that metal shined through because that's what I was going for. But I only painted the bottom and then like the entire outside. I did not paint the inside, and you will see why very soon. So now we're going to take this little piece of PVC plumbing type pipe. I'm not sure if they have this at the Dollar Tree, you guys. I really don't know. I don't want to say they don't because you never know. But my husband actually had this because we just had to do some plumbing to that same bathroom that we ended up redoing. But anyways, this was left over. And he said that you can get plumbing, like piping like this, really cheap at hardware stores. So I'm sure you guys know more about that than I do because I really purposely don't take much interest because I don't really care. But anyways, when I said, hey, do you have any PVC pipe? And he was like, yeah, actually I do. I was like, oh my goodness, this is the best day ever. I'm actually going to be able to put this project, I'm going to be able to bring it to life. So that little slit down there was cut. He did cut that for me, and that is going to be very important. And then all I did was just paint this with some Castle chalk paint by Folk Art. Again, this is like the day for painting weird pieces or weird items for me, but everything painted over perfectly fine. I didn't have to sand any of this stuff. Everything got great coverage. I don't know if it was just my lucky day or if it's just chalk paint is that amazing or what, but yeah, the crafting gods were definitely with me. So then I just took some of these tumbling tower blocks, and as you can see, I took 2 of them. I took 8 of them, and then I pieced them together in twos. Like, I made that sound way more complicated than it is. You see what I did there. Then I just went back over top of my dry little planner here with that Castle chalk paint and very lightly distressed over it. I definitely did not want to go too crazy, but I kind of did want to bring out that wording because I thought that was pretty cool. Now, I could have went over this with sandpaper and it definitely would have brought that natural silver back out, but I just thought this would look a lot cooler because the grays matched, like the piping on the gray and then the gray that I distressed with match. So, and that's just how my brain worked at this moment. But that's all I did for here, and I did do like the bottom, the top, the sides, the front, the back. Then I just took this really tiny stencil brush that I got from Hobby Lobby in like a pack of 4 or 5, and then a little bit of that truffle chalk paint, and I went around the seams of that pipe, like that where it connects together, and then right there at the top. If you guys can't tell what I'm making yet, spoiler alert, here it comes, which you probably already know because of the thumbnail, but I am making a little faux sink. So this is my faucet, and I'm going around like the tip of the faucet, like where the water comes out, and then like around the edges where maybe water would leak or something, you know, there on the middle of the pipe, and creating like a little rust look. I chose to use truffle because that is literally what I had out, what was handy, what I was already working with. You could definitely use any color you wanted. Burnt umber would probably look really nice, but I really liked the way the truffle worked out. I thought it looked really good, and then I just went around the top edges of, this is going to be my sink, and I just went around the seams and the top of it there, and then like around the bottom, and gave it a little bit of that, like emphasized it a little bit with that truffle paint as well. So to attach like the faucet onto the sink, I just went ahead and put a little bit of hot glue there on the top rim of the planter, and then slid the PVC piping down on top of it. That is why those little slits were cut in there by my husband. That way it would just slide on, or you know, had a way to attach actually. Now, I went ahead and put like a little bit of hot glue like up inside the pipe, as you could see, and a little bit to either side of it. You probably would not even need to do that because it fit on there pretty nicely. But like I said, this is going into a bathroom with 3 children, so I like to cover all my ground. So now to attach the hot and cold handles, I'm just taking those tumbling tower blocks that there are 2 of them pieced together, mostly for stability and to literally act like a little booster for like the handles to actually sit on. I didn't trust them just sitting like on just the brim of the planter. Obviously that wouldn't hold them. So as you can see, what I did here, I just attached them to the back side of it, and then I'm just taking the top of them, or you know, like the other 2 that are glued together to make like the handle part, and just attaching them on top of the ones that are glued to the back. I'm sure the way I'm saying it is probably way more confusing than if you can just look and see what's going on. It's quite simple. This was definitely inspired by a picture I either saw on Facebook or on Pinterest. I can't remember exactly, but her faucet, or the faucet, the sink that I saw, was completely different. She used soap dispenser, like the pumper, and attached it to the back. That is a really cute idea as well. I didn't have those on hand, and then I thought about using like a little wooden bead to put on top of it. Like there was a couple different scenarios I thought about, but my husband actually came up with this, and I really think ultimately it looks really good and I really like them. So then I wanted to give the sink a little bit of like a lift. So I took some of these brain teaser little blocks. I use these because they're semi-square, but they're also kind of semi-round, and they're a little bit bigger than like there's just those little cubes that you get from the Dollar Tree. This came from the Dollar Tree as well. It's just that like little game, but once you cut that string, it's over. They're all apart and they go everywhere. But as you can see, I just painted them with the same plaster and then attached them. At first I showed just attaching 4, but ultimately I ended up attaching 6. I thought maybe that would help the little sink be a little more stable, but what it really was just the weight of the piping in the back was causing it to want to teeter. Now this will be on a shelf and like leaning up against a wall, but I didn't want it like falling over or something. So after I attached all of those, I just painted them with the plaster. I went ahead and went over them with the castle a little bit because I thought that made it, match the rest of the sink, obviously. Then I took some of these florals from the Dollar Tree, and I am just cutting them all off of that stem. Guys, I should have just left them on the stem because when you see what I do here in the end, that would have made more sense. But I don't know why I like to work harder and not smarter sometimes. So then I just took some of this like onion grass that you also get from the Dollar Tree, and I just literally made a little bouquet, which is why when I say I should have just left them all attached on the stem, it would have been a lot easier and faster. But then I just wrapped them up in some like gray burlap. This is really nice burlap, you guys. It's like 5.5 inches wide, and I think it's 10 yards, and I got it from Amazon, and I'll link it below. And then I just tied it tight so it would stay on around the edge. I was trying to make just like a really rustic looking bouquet. I don't know what I was doing, y'all. I mean, I really don't know. Sometimes when I watch these back, I'm like, Mackenzie, there was such an easier way to do this. But so to cover up the twine, because, why tie it around the back when you can put it around the front and then have to cover it? No, I intended to put a big bow on it. So I just took the burlap, made a simple little bow, and tied it up with some twine, and then just attached it to the flower bouquet with some hot glue.
Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth.
So to put a little bit of weight inside the little sink to, again, give it more stability so that the piping wouldn't make it want to teeter backwards, my husband went and like kind of cut me a little block that would fit inside there. So I just set it down inside there for some like stability. So then I took one of these Dollar Tree welcome windmills, and after I fought with it for like 5 minutes and was on the verge of almost breaking it trying to get the welcome off, my husband came over and rescued me and removed it for me. This is why I'm not allowed to use tools, guys. So then I just took some of this really pretty but really, really chintzy garland from the Dollar Tree. If you're going to put this together anywhere, I highly suggest using more than one. But since it was just going in this little sink, it didn't matter. That was plenty. And if my tripod keeps shaking because Renna was at the floor playing with Barbies and she kept running her little car into my tripod. Anyway, so I just kind of wanted to fill this little basket, or sink rather. This isn't a basket, it's a sink, with like little cutesy bathroom, springy farmhouse decor things. Now, the inspirational picture had like bath bombs in it and maybe some bubbles, and I can't remember, just like a lot of like bathroom and like items, which is a really awesome idea. But I don't have any of that on hand. So, and I definitely didn't want this to be like where people would want to get in it and take something out of it. And by people, I mean my children. So I decided to just decorate it because, that's fun. So as you can see, I fought with this for longer than it took me to put the whole entire sink together. So ultimately, I ended up with the garland and then my bouquet of flowers and then that little windmill. I knew those were going in for sure. So all these little decorative balls, I kind of used those as like fill-ins in the back. Not that you're gonna see the back, but then it kind of helped boost up my little bouquet of flowers, and then it helped boost up my windmill. And this just really cracks me up, you guys, because if you could hear me just like almost literally cussing this little sink at this point, I was so aggravated. And it was like all I was trying to do was put items in it, and it was the worst part of it. But I think it turned out absolutely precious. Like I said, you could put anything you wanted inside of this little thing. You can make it like in a guest bathroom and put like extra hand towels and lotions and soaps, hand sanitizer, whatever, just a cute little theme. And that's really what I would probably end up doing with it. But again, I didn't have any of that on hand, and I know if I just put that stuff in there, my girls would just take it out anyway. So I like this. I think it's really pretty and perfect for like spring and summer. Even knowing it's still January, my brain's going for spring. But anyways, you guys, here comes the big reveal. So here's a final look at everything that I made today.
Trying to impress me, pulling out all the stops, making my dizzy when you tell me what you want. I just wanted you to see me, never thought you'd notice. Thought that you should know I'm already sold, so never let me go. You had me at a la 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 la. I can see you trying, finding ways inside my head. Lost and out of focus, I can hear a word you say. Cause I don't care about your game, I just wanted you to see me. Thought that you should know I'm already sold, so never let me go. You had me at a la 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 la. Talking, I don't care. With you, my mind is clear. La la la. Trying to impress me, pulling out all the stops, making my head dizzy when you tell me what you want. I just wanted you to see me, never thought you'd notice, thought that you should know.
Thank you guys so much for coming along with me today. I had so much fun creating these little DIYs. It just blows my mind what you can create with just really inexpensive items from the Dollar Tree or a yard sale or a thrift store, etc. So I love how all of these turned out. I'm quite proud of them actually, but let me know what you think in the description box below, and make sure you let me know which one was your favorite.
I can see you trying, finding ways inside my head, lost and out of focus, I can hear a word you say, 'cause I don't care about your game, I just wanted you to see me, thought that you should know, I'm already sold, so never let me go, you already had a stop talking, I don't care, with you my mind is clear.
If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out, and I appreciate it so much. And if you aren't already subscribed, be sure to smash that subscribe button before you go and turn on that notification bell. That way you never miss an upload. I'm trying really hard to stay on an uploading schedule of every Thursday and Sunday, but life happens and sometimes that doesn't always work out. So if you turn your bell on, then you'll be sure to never miss an upload, just in case I get off schedule. But anyways, you guys, I hope that you have a great day and a great rest of your week, and I will be back very soon with some more DIYs. Bye, guys.
Trying to impress me, pulling out all the stops, making my head dizzy.